Court does call the case of Legstone Apartments versus Amanda and Tula.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Attorney Samantha Sprague, 1931, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
All right, is Miss Antula here?
She is.
Oh, well, come on up. It's your case too. Yeah, me either, but I think that's how it works. All right. That's okay. Your name? All right. Where are we on this case?
Your Honor, there is still outstanding rent due and owing. We do show that currently there is past due rent in the amount of $8,140.70. There are late fees currently in the amount of $225. That does reflect three $75 late fees. We are aware of the court's position on that, so we do have numbers for the $75 according to the lease, as well as the $30 that the court has traditionally permitted in the past. And then we also have charges of $160 for washer and dryer fees, utilities in the amount of $239, and court costs in the amount of $327 for a total due and owing of $9,089.70 per the terms of the lease. However, given the reduction for the late fees, the total would be $8,954.70 for the requested judgment.
All right. And what is your position, ma'am?
Well, I think there was just a big miscommunication. Earlier this year in April, they had me sign a lease addendum that I provided for the court. The opposing counsel had a less rental amount. I signed all the paperwork they gave me. I gave them everything they asked for. I dropped it off at the leasing office. They were closed over the weekend, and I didn't hear back from them for 40 days. And at that point, they said, you need to sign a new lease addendum with a new rental amount. So under legal counsel from a legal aid clinic, I didn't pay anything because I didn't know what to pay. But I don't want to keep coming to court, and I just want this to be done and over with. So I would like to.
That's how I feel on a lot of things,
Yeah,
but go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I would just like to pay September's rent.
Have you figured out what the difference would be between what you're being charged now, I'll put it that way, as opposed to what it would be under this first lease?
The first lease, well, I'm not sure what exactly I should pay. Like, should I pay the lease addendum that I signed for, or the amount that they want me to pay? Because
well, I'm asking what would be the difference between the two. Have you calculated that out in your head?
Well, it would be $1,259 versus I believe $1,492 per month. I believe that's so it would be like 200 and I'm not very good at math, 240 maybe.
Say those numbers again.
1,259 versus 1,492.
You guys are supposed to do this math for me, but you don't care. No, you just don't care. That's fine. I got it.
I'm very
I have 233 a month difference.
okay.
And what is plaintiff's position on that?
Plaintiff's position is they acknowledge that during the initial recertification, as part of the recertification documents, the lease was signed by Ms. Hantula. It was never fully executed because it was the rental amount for a one-bedroom, whereas Ms. Hantula is not in a one-bedroom. She is in a two-bedroom. When management realized their mistake, they did contact Ms. Hantula. She refused to sign the updated one, as well as refused to provide recertification documentation, which is still outstanding on her account.
So this is subsidized?
It's a low income housing tax credit.
Got it.
So it doesn't, she doesn't receive a voucher or Section 8, but it does require annual recertification to make sure that she fits the income parameters.
Ma'am, is that part of the distinction, I guess?
Well, when I had spoken to Sabra, who is, I consider my landlord, I had asked her if a different two-bedroom was available because on the company website, there was a two-bedroom that was in this price range. It was 1,200 something. Can we move it? Can me and my son, Max, who's 10 years old, can we move into this two-bedroom that's available on the website when my lease is up? And she said, no, that's not available for you two. to move into. So when I signed this addendum,
Which, the first one?
Yeah.
Well, the one that you signed. Go
yes,
ahead.
renewing my lease, I had assumed that since the other two-bedroom wasn't available, then I would be getting this price instead. Like, there was nothing that made me think that this wasn't a valid, contract. Like, they gave me it to sign, I signed it, I gave them all the paperwork, my pay stubs, my
No,
child support.
I get all that. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, at least I think what plaintiff is indicating to me is that the lease you signed was really for a one bedroom
Well,
as opposed to a two bedroom.
but it had my apartment number and everything, like it had all of my information. And there was a two-bedroom available for that price, and there still is on the website. So I thought that I was getting,
No, I hear you. I guess I'm,
like, and then they waited 40 days. Like, I didn't get any paperwork back. I didn't get any, they waited 40 days to tell me, oh, hey, you need to sign a new lease addendum. So,
well, okay. So that was gonna be my next query. You signed this agreement for this lower amount. Did you then pay rent
I did not,
at the lower amount?
no, because it was for the next month.
You have to help me with that because
This was in the beginning of April when I signed the new contract, and then the new lease was starting in May. So a month went by, and then I noticed on the resident portal when you log in that it had a different rent amount. And so it was like about 40 days later, I emailed Sabra and I said, what's up with this? And she said, oh, you need to sign new paperwork. I'm going to leave it on your door for a new rental amount. That's the amount you need to pay. So I didn't pay anything, which I wasn't sure if I was legally what to do really in that situation. I just sort of,
well, the reason I asked that question is because you're indicating to me that you sign this document and then it's 40 days later that but you didn't pay that lesser amount.
I didn't, because they told me that the lesser amount.
What were you, that wasn't your move-in date, right? Was it?
That was my lease renewal date, because I've
Right,
been there
that's
for a year.
Okay. So what was your rental rate prior to?
It was 1,492.
1,492. So that's what you paid prior to this April time.
Yes.
Okay, so what makes you think it wasn't an error on their part?
It wasn't,
Because your
they-
rent went down.
right. Well, because they gave me a legal contract and I thought they are, competent apartment complex that was
Yeah,
a
but
legal contract to sign.
and I don't have a problem enforcing a contract. I don't have a problem doing that. But my understanding is they did not execute the contract. They did not sign it. So basically, the contract can happen in this way. If I were to determine that that's an offer, although it might be a mistake on their part, there has to be something on your part that would lead the court to believe that there would be some acceptance of that offer. Then they might just be stuck. The problem here, and that's why I was asking, one of the ways of showing that acceptance would be payment.
Oh.
Okay, so they make this offer to you, you pay, and then I'm not saying that the court would decide that, but then you may have a binding contract. But then here's the other part. And sort of, does this offer, they're saying it was an error on their part, basically. So then the question in my mind becomes, does it make sense that that would be an error. Well, it might, because your rent was what, $14.92. And then it drops, what, $233. That would seem kind of odd, wouldn't it?
Well, I guess I had just assumed, which may have been a mistake on my part, that since the other two-bedroom wasn't available to rent, that was in that price range, that I was given this amount. It was like the same price.
But they told you, according to what you're telling me, they told you at that point that
Wasn't.
that was not available.
But then why even give me a contract with that amount on it? I was so excited. I thought that since that it wasn't available, that, the landlord was being nice and like giving me the same price, even though it wasn't the same two-bedroom apartment. Even though that wasn't communicated to me, I guess I just assumed that it's just a contract that they offered me.
Understood. But what I guess I'm getting at is, let's assume they were being nice. Let's assume that this was a legitimate price.
Excuse me.
There's no payment or attempt at payment.
That was a mistake.
And that's, as I see it, that's the problem. Because if somebody were to give me something, I mean, if my mortgage payment went down, I'm paying that immediately, right? Because, but the thing is, here, there's no payment.
I was advised not to give a payment in case something went wrong, like I was immediately evicted, that I would need that money as like something to fall on in case it was ruled against me. I was told that. Like I was given all these different possibilities of what could happen, and
Yeah, but I'm assuming that's later down the road and not immediately out of the gate. I'm talking at the point at which they give that contract to you. That was in April, and then you're coming up on May. In May, there isn't a tender payment at that lower rate. And in there, that's where I see, and then they notify you really in two ways. One, although I don't know that this is really a notification, the portal says something different, right? And then they notify you otherwise that that's not the amount.
right.
Okay. What's wrong?
I'm just feeling nervous. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. If I were, because here's what it seems like to me might be the decision that the court would come to in this case. Prior to this document appearing, you're paying $14.92, right? The rental rate, so you're coming up on your lease renewal, and if nothing happens on the lease renewal, typically in most cases, you're paying the same amount that you were paying before. It would just continue, which is what really is happening here. Okay.
Okay.
It's all right. Now, if I were to rule that way, the question then becomes, you're about $9,000 in the hole here, right?
A lot of money.
Okay. So I'm going to ask the hard question now, okay?
Okay.
If I were to rule for the plaintiff that you owe this amount, and that, let's say I just made up my own statute and I said you need to pay that today. Okay, shaking your head because you anticipate my question. You don't have that, right?
I do not have that much money. I'm not. I can pay rent.
Hold on a second.
Okay,
hold on.
I don't have.
Are you in a position to move? Okay. So let me try to paint this picture in my head a little bit, okay? You don't have the money. You're not in a position to move. And I'm assuming your little one just started school. I don't know how, right? So now you have a little one in school and you're trying to figure out where you're going to go from there, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And not only are you nervous, you're scared to death right now.
I really don't want to be here. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Really, seriously, there are days I feel that way. All right, myself. All right. So now my question becomes, what would be your way of trying to get this done?
Uh, I would like to, because it sounds like,
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What I'm going to do is let me pass the matter briefly. I'm going to talk to two of you in back.
Okay.
See what we're going to do. Okay.
okay,
And let me try to get a couple things out of the way and then I'll have you in back. Okay.
okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Well, find out who's ready. Let me try to get these two. Can you get them to the jury room? These two, yes. Just follow my bailiff back, man. Court does call the case of Ping Shin versus, everybody's coming up. Come on. Versus Caillou, is it Apacapong? I mess that up every time, right? You have an interpreter present. May I have the interpreter sworn?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that you will interpret accurately, completely, and impartially using your best skill and judgment and to translate from English into Chinese and from Chinese into English in the matter now before the court, so help you God?
I do.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Madam Interpreter. All right. State your name for the record, sir.
Yes, Christina Chen.
All right. State your name.
Ping Shen.
Oh, say aye.
All right. And why are we here today?
Yeah, I just make sure the tenants when they can make payment. Because but for this year, February 9, the hearing judge 就说这个判那个法官判的是3月到8月份。每个月，今年 for this year， 今年8月份3到8月份每个月付500块钱，结果他付了3个月就没付了。
Judge had already ruled that the tenants should pay the delinquencies for $500 a month until August of this year. However, he only paid 3 months. And he stopped.
How much is owing?
总共是多少他欠的钱？
总共欠
$1149.
Hold on a second. Go ahead. How much do you claim is owing?
总共是一共是260016块吧，现在赔了3个月，还剩1146啊是多少
3个月1500嘛，
对，
就是1116这样是吗
？OK
Your Honor, the delinquency is 2,616, and he paid 1,500 for 3 months, up to total 1,500. So there's still a balance of 1,116.
1,116?
Yes. 1116嘛，对哈 Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, how much do you think is owed?
Excuse me, it's $1,100.49.
1,149?
它是1100，
不是几块钱。
But
1551 difference. All right.
15块5毛9的差距。
Okay, go ahead.
this just all been so much and it's been going on for so long,
这
so
个已
it's
经
just
花了很长的一段时
like
间，
stressful.
非常的这个。
Me and my family have been trying to figure out how to pay it, but my wife is an educator. She's a school teacher. She doesn't work over the summer, so she just literally went back to work last week.
一直到上
I have a family of 7, me, my 4 kids, my wife, and I take care of my mother. So
Okay, so let me ask you this. When do you think you can get this paid?
你什么时候可以付他？
to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure.
我不敢确定。
I've been trying to figure out the billing process with my wife to try to get everything down since I was the only one working. We got a little behind on
但是
everything,
我
so
们的所有的账
trying to
单
play catch up.
Okay,
各方面都付款的情况。
let me ask you this. If I were, because the court has the ability to do that, sort of restructure your payment,
如果法庭能够重新
how much do you think,
方式，
as you stand here right now, how much do you think you could pay per month?
See if it's $1,100.
总共是
To be completely honest with you, it couldn't be any more than $200 a month
他说最
or
多一个月我付
I mean,
不能
that's
超过
kind of
200块。
stretching it a little
Yeah.
thin.
Hang on, hang on.
就是一个金
So that was-
Sometimes you say too much.
Yeah. So about $200.
Well, let me ask you this.
200块。
Well, if I can just get more time, can I get
Sir,
till?
sir, please
希望他是讲个不停。
cut the payments to 250 per month, understanding the summer work schedule or payment schedule.
50块钱可以吗？
When could you start those payments?
October.
通会
October 1? Because you got,
15th.
well,
My wife she gets paid twice a month.
我太太
She
每个
doesn't
月
even really
收
get her
2次的那
check
个薪水，
until the
一个
15th.
月可以
so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to indicate that the current balance, I'm gonna take the plaintiff's number of $1,116. Defendant to pay $250 per month beginning October 15th,
付的话是10月
2025. So I'm giving him time to pay it off, realizing the work schedule and the
我
payment,
现在已经给你时间，让你能够按时可以来付这个钱。
but I'm taking your number, which is a higher number as to what's up. All right? Thank you.
By the way,
你要说什么？
I prefer he can pay to the court escrow account, not pay my director.
That's how it's set up, sir.
Right?
That is how it's set up.
Well, that's because you guys couldn't do stuff right.
啊所以
So
是利好
Pay $250 per month beginning October 15th to the court escrow.
好是
All right.
管账号。
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter. Court does call the case of Jeff Lewis versus Jennifer Loudon.
Morning, Your Honor. Dale Barton appearing on behalf of the plaintiffs, Jeff and Julie Lewis.
Right.
Morning, sir.
And hello, how are you? Hold on.
Good.
And verification in order to seize property. Go ahead.
This is a motion to amend the request and verification order to seize property. It was originally assigned to Moore and Associates, and it's been over a year, and my client has contacted them. They haven't done anything. We'd like to have it reassigned to the Washington County Sheriff's Department Judicial Services.
What was their response when they were called?
I'd have to ask my client. He's on Zoom.
Mr. Lewis, what was their response?
Sir, when I asked them back in July, they had indicated that they had basically closed the case because they could not move forward. And then in August, I don't know the exact date, I got a bill from Moore Associates that they actually served her in August with the seizure order. It was like a year after, we'd asked for it. So they have done something in August, but they didn't do anything prior to that, going back to August of 24.
And where are they in the process right now of,
Your Honor, the process server was when I filed this motion. That's when
say that again?
the fee that they received, the invoice from Moore for serving the papers they are serving the papers that were in the court here today for, when I filed the motion and to amend the request in order to seize. That's the only thing they've done in a year's time, was serve her with these copies of the papers that I filed in August.
Have they received notice of your motion? And the reason that I ask is because this would be going outside of typically what the court would do.
Yes, they did.
They did. I don't have a proof of service, but I have it on Jennifer Loud.
All right,
I don't have a proof of service on Moore and Associates. Here's what I will do. And I will make sure that, well, I guess I'm trying to figure out are JF Moore and Associates aware of this motion?
to the best of my knowledge, yes.
Yes.
Well, how do we know that?
I'll have to file a proof of service. I didn't do that, Your Honor.
But it was served on them?
I'm not, yeah, I mailed it, but
I don't know what that answer was.
I mailed it, so first class mail, and I will indicate that in my proof of service.
File a proof of service. We will also, and I guess in this instance, I could certainly contact them, or could just issue it, but I don't want to get into a process where people are picking their process servers this way. So what I will do is I'll need the proof of service, make sure that a copy gets to Ms. Weidling. And then I will also have my staff contact them to make sure, and if nothing's been done, then I'll sign your order.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, he's got to know about the motion, and I want to know what the status is on it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
R&J Group Holdings versus Azar Sadeji staff held.
Morning, Your Honor. Anthony Momena appearing on behalf of plaintiff R&J Group Holdings.
Really?
Yes.
All right, what are we doing?
Hopefully, Your Honor, we're denying her motion based on the reasoning given in my response in opposition to defendant's emergency motion to compel plaintiff to return security deposit and expenses.
Her motion is denied on its merits.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Question to the court.
Oh, boy.
Good to see you, by the way, again.
Good.
Hopefully we have to stop meeting like this.
Yeah.
Will you be providing a denial of the motion on her order, or should I submit one?
Submit one, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Is there any chance?
You could do it today, so I can sign it. We don't even have to do it. Okay.
Okay, is it electronic or do I need to get one? Are we
You
electronic?
if you get it and send it to Ms. Weidling,
Okay,
it'll get signed.
I believe I have plenty of examples of your email address. Thank
All
you,
right.
Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you.